The Galactic Council had banned the Vraxan species from 37 stations. Not the adults. The cubs. A fully grown Vraxan stood 9 feet tall, armored in obsidian scales, with claws that could tear through starship hulls. But they were calm, logical, bound by ancient codes of conduct. Their cubs, however, were something else entirely. Vraxan cubs were born feral. For the first 15 cycles of their lives, they operated on pure predatory instinct, hunting, stalking, killing anything that moved. Other species avoided them like a plague. The Zalari lost an entire diplomatic envoy to a single cub. The Mortith refused to share stations with any Vraxan family. Even the war-hardened Kreth admitted they feared those small, savage creatures. When the research vessel Horizon's Edge discovered an illegal Vraxan breeding facility destroyed by raiders and found 7 orphan cubs in the wreckage, snarling, bloody, surrounded by the bodies of their captors, the crew made the only logical decision. They prepared to eject them into space. Wait. The voice belonged to Kaelin, the ship's human biologist. She stood at the airlock door, blocking the path. Captain Vorith, a towering Mortith with 4 arms crossed in frustration, clicked his mandibles. Step aside, human. You don't understand what these creatures are capable of. They're children, Kaelin said. They are predators. They killed 6 armed raiders with their bare claws. The oldest one cannot be more than 3 cycles. Kaelin looked through the reinforced glass. 7 cubs huddled in the corner, hissing and snapping at the light. Their eyes glowed amber in the darkness. The largest one, barely reaching her waist, bared fangs dripping with something dark. Give them to me, she said. The bridge went silent. You're insane, Vorith said finally. Humans are fragile. Soft. You have no claws, no venom, no natural armor. They will tear you apart within the hour. Kaelin smiled, that strange, unsettling expression humans made when they'd already decided something. Maybe, but I'm going to try anyway. The first week was chaos. The cubs attacked everything: furniture, walls, equipment, crew members who wandered too close. They drew blood from Kaelin 17 times. They destroyed her quarters twice. They escaped their containment 4 times, causing station-wide lockdowns. But Kaelin never raised a hand against them. Never shouted. Never showed fear. She fed them by hand, even when they bit her fingers. She spoke to them in soft tones, even when they screamed. She slept in their room, even when they circled her like prey. The crew watched through security feeds, convinced they were witnessing a slow suicide. But something strange began to happen. The largest cub, the one Kaelin called Vash, stopped attacking first. He would sit at a distance, watching her with those burning amber eyes. When the others lunged, he would hesitate. When Kaelin offered food, he would take it without drawing blood. By the 3rd week, Vash slept beside her. By the 6th week, he growled at any crew member who approached her with aggression. By the 10th week, all 7 cubs followed Kaelin through the station like shadows, silent, watchful, protective. This is impossible, said Dr. Zealanth, the ship's xenobiologist, reviewing the data. Vraxan cubs don't bond. They don't form attachments. Their neural development doesn't allow for it until maturity. Then explain what I'm seeing, Captain Vorith replied, gesturing to the security feed. On screen, Kaelin sat in the common area, reading from a datapad. Vash lay curled at her feet, his massive head resting on her lap. The other 6 cubs were scattered around her, one perched on the back of her chair, another pressed against her side, the rest forming a loose perimeter. The Kreth engineer walked too close. Vash's head snapped up, a low growl rumbling from his chest. The engineer retreated immediately. She's their pack leader, Zealanth said slowly, as if the words tasted foreign. They've imprinted on her. Vraxan don't have pack structures. They do now. The transmission came 3 months later. A Vraxan elder named Korvax, his scales silver with age, appeared on the view screen. His presence commanded silence across the bridge. We have received reports, Korvax said, his voice like grinding stone, that a human female has claimed 7 of our orphan young. We demand their return. Captain Vorith stepped forward. Elder Korvax, with respect, the cubs have bonded with. Bonded? Korvax's eyes narrowed. Vraxan cubs do not bond. You speak nonsense. Then perhaps you should see for yourself. The feed switched to the cargo bay. Kaelin stood at the center, surrounded by her cubs, now significantly larger than when they'd arrived. Vash, the leader, stood at her right side, his head reaching her shoulder. His scales had darkened to deep black, and his claws could now go to Mordith with a single swipe. But when Kaelin placed her hand on his head, Vash closed his eyes and leaned into her touch like a domesticated creature. Impossible, Korvax whispered. She raised them, Captain Vorith said. Not with chains, not with fear. She raised them with something humans call love. They would die for her now. They would kill for her. And from what I understand, Elder, they already have. Korvax was silent for a long moment. What does the human want? He asked finally. Kaelin looked into the camera, her hand still resting on Vash's head. The cubs pressed closer around her, a wall of scale and claw and absolute devotion. I want to keep my children, she said simply. The Galactic Council revised its ban on Vraxen cubs the following cycle. The new regulation had a single exception. Cubs may be permitted on stations if accompanied by a registered human guardian. When asked why humans specifically, the Vraxen Elder Korvax gave an answer that confused every species in the galaxy. Because humans do not raise predators. They raise family. And even our fiercest children cannot resist that. Vash, now fully grown at 9 feet tall, still slept at the foot of Kaelin's bed. Some bonds, the galaxy learned, defied biology. Humans just called it parenting.